It is. It's covered the entire face perfectly.
In 1 week.
That's a stonking effort.
Welcome to the GCN Show.
Coming up, we wrap up all the important road results and cyclocross in the last week, and we've got a really important update on Matt's beard.
Might not take very long. We've also got Strava, tweet, caption, and comment of the week.
Plus another fantastic competition. You could win this! More about that later. And this!
No,
Or this! Both of these things you could win. Or two of you could win.
Either of these things.
Yeah, I mean it generally.
How fast does this thing go?
We're not even midway through February, but already the road season is well underway and in full swing. Now, as you would have noticed, our very own Tom Last, aka The Brick, has been at the Tour of Dubai.
Never stand if you can sit.
And in and around the 4 days, he's been filming some fantastic content for the channel.
What about these ones? They go right, not on a bike. Except you have to fix it.
Now, as opposed to the inaugural event last year, this year's event went down to the wire until the very final stage.
Yeah, that's right. The first 2 days were taken by Cavendish and Viviani in sprints. And on day 3, it was John Degenkolb of Giant Alpe who stormed up the final wall to the finish, 17% for 170 metres, and he gapped the rest of the field, including Valverde and the other lightweight climbers. But ominously, Mark Cavendish managed to finish in the front group, and that meant that a win on the final day and a 10-second time bonus would be enough to give him overall victory.
Yeah, and he duly delivered. Mark Cavendish now has more stage race victories to his name than both Carlos Sastre and Andy Schleck combined.
Wow.
Yeah, that's 3, by the way, just in case you're wondering. And thanks very much to Killian Kelly for that stat.
Now, down under at the Herald Sun Tour, Orica Greenedge obviously had a lot of pressure on their shoulders, but again, they delivered. This time it was Caleb Ewan with 2 sprint stage wins, but the overall went to Cameron Meyer, who also won a stage along the way.
Back in the Northern Hemisphere though, in Etoile de Bessèges in France, suffered no less than 3 rider protests on stage 2 due to the strong winds and the freezing temperatures. But the race did go ahead, and it was ultimately won by the Luxembourg time trial champion Bob Jungels of Trek, who secured it with a time trial victory on the last stage.
Jungles.
Jungels.
Now it's time for the caption competition, and the winner of last week's competition from the Cyclocross Worlds is Luis Garcia. And Luis said, "When you told me to burn them on the climb, I didn't realise it was this way." Nice one, Luis.
Now, this week's picture is this one of John Degenkolb being congratulated by Ethics Quick-Step rider Mark Cavendish. We shall get you started once again. Yes, Mark, you may kiss my hand.
Good start.
Pretty solid actually, isn't it?
As usual, really.
Definitely.
To enter, just put your entry in the comments section below this video. And Lewis, by the way, get in touch and we'll send you a hat too. Don't forget that.
The Ladies Tour of Qatar opened with a win from Ali Cipollini's and Elisa Cucinotta, but from that point on, it really was a Bowles Doman show. On stage 2, Ellen van Dijk took the win from a 5-man group that absolutely wreaked havoc on the rest of the field.
Yeah, and it was Van Dijk's teammate Lizzie Armistead who won the 2 final stages from bunch sprints, and then also took the overall from Chloe Hosking of Wiggle Honda and her teammate Van Dijk.
Now, the men's race actually started on Sunday immediately after the Dubai Tour. There was a late attack from 2 riders from Astana, Lars Bohm and Louis Vestre, who were joined by Tinkoff Saxo's Matti Breschel. However, it was all brought back together inside the final kilometres. There was a select group sprinting for the win, and get this, it's nearly man JJ Rojas of Movistar who took the sprint victory. And there were some other sprinters there to boot. Tom Bonen came second, Arne Dimar third, and Peter Sagan, despite a crash during the stage, came home in 4th.
On the stage 2, it was another fast time, this time Katusha's Alexander Kristoff, who took the win, but from another select group that had formed in the crosswinds early on in the stage. Now he takes his lead into the stage 3 time trial. We've a quite splendiferous competition for you this week. 2 chances to win! You could win this, or this. Incredible scenes here on the couch. I'm actually wearing a leader's jersey from the Dubai Tour by Castelli, designed by none other than Paul Smith, but signed by the race winner and double stage winner former world champion, 25 stages in the Tour de France. His autograph is across my nipple. It's Mark Cavendish! Plus a cap as well, with his name on it.
Yes, to be in with a chance of winning the jersey or the cap, all we've got to do is answer a question. And that question is, how many stage races has Mark Cavendish won overall throughout his career?
To enter, head over to our Facebook page. Now, if you haven't already got the URL up and you can't be bothered to type it, then in the description to this video, you can find a link straight there.
Good luck.
I think I'm having this actually, to be honest. Really nice.
Yeah, just
Your signature looks significantly bigger than when it was on the table.
Fits me like a glove.
Because I've not got a sweaty head, isn't it? The penultimate round of the Super Prestige Series took place in Hoogstraten at the weekend. Newly crowned world champion Mathieu van der Poel duly did his rainbow stripes proud by taking the win ahead of Kevin Powles and Wout van Aert.
Yeah, and in the ladies' race, it was Sanne Cant who took the win, making up for her disappointment at the previous World Championships. In second place was Helen Wyman, and in third was Julian Verschuren. But of note, incredibly, that was Sanne Cant's 21st victory of the season.
Do you think it really made up for her disappointment at the World Champs?
Probably not, looking at that face on the podium, to be honest with you, no. Fair play though, 21 wins, Sanne. Well done.
Nice.
A welcome return this week to Marginal Pain, some of you might say. It comes from Matt. Take it away, Matt.
Thanks very much, Dan. I don't know if many of you have experienced this, but it was highlighted for me yesterday when I was out on a short spin in the Wiltshire Hills on a lovely sunny day, quite crisp and clear. And it was just lovely to get the air in my lungs on a Sunday afternoon. But basically, I was riding along, rider came towards me, and normally after raising your hand and saying hello, you'd expect that sort of that politeness to be reciprocated, but it wasn't. I was blanked on several occasions by the riders, and I got home quite jaded and disappointed that fellow riders basically wouldn't give you the time of day. And I just wanted to sort of maybe throw it out there that when you go out on a bike ride, it's important to raise your hand. It's polite. It's part of cycling etiquette. So I've got a hashtag that I've knocked up that I'd like, perhaps for everybody to get trending, and it's this hashtag: say hi on your ride. What do you think, chaps?
Yeah, that sounds great, mate. Yeah, wicked. A real proper marginal pain.
Yeah, just got to be polite, haven't you?
See another cyclist heading towards you? Don't ignore them. Raise a hand and give them a wave. Say hi, it's who we are, and it's polite.
We have a new world hour record holder. On Sunday in Switzerland, BMC's Rowan Dennis had one of the longest hours of his life, but the pain was well rewarded. He managed to cover a distance of 52.491 kilometres, which, to put it into perspective, is an average speed of over 52 k's per hour. And perhaps more importantly than that, he put over 600 metres on the distance set by Matthias Brendley of IAM Cycling late last year.
Yeah, and what a superbly stylish display it was, leaving one commentator on Twitter to describe Dennis as as smooth as an eel in an oil slick.
Yeah, really quite astute that. Now, another person on Twitter, Javier Disley, who's a renowned British time trialist, has been posting some really interesting graphs showing the pacing of the various hour record attempts. Now, if we have a look at this one, you can see that Rowan Dennis really starts to drop off around the 40-kilometre mark, apparently averaging 25 watts per lap less than earlier in his attempt, whereas Jens Voigt is the only one who's negatively paced it, presumably true to form. As the pain really started to kick in, Jens just went faster.
Yeah, now next up to tackle the hour record is Dutchman Thomas Dekker. Now Dekker is out of contract this year, but is going to attempt the hour at altitude near Mexico City. Now on paper you wouldn't have thought that he would even get near the mark set by Rowan Dennis, but with the benefits you can get by cutting through the air that's far less dense, who bet against him? Should be close.
You going to bet against him?
I'm not too sure.
I love the white stuff.
Yeah, I might bet against him.
Really? Strava Club now, and Stephen Abraham is still plodding away at the top of our distance leaderboard. Only 46 weeks to go.
Meanwhile, Luis Lopez nailed a 500-kilometre ride around the bay in Melbourne, averaging 26 kilometres per hour and so taking only 24 hours to complete the ride. Good effort.
And in the climbing competition, the Toonster, during his 19,000 metres of elevation this week, nearly Everested during a 400-kilometre ride.
Sounds like a close call.
It's a near miss. Have you ever nearly Everested anything?
I don't know.
Last Last week we asked you to like the GCN show if you wanted Matt to grow a beard, and nearly 4,000 of you did so. Unfortunately though, Matt appears to have taken this as a double negative. It actually doesn't appear to have bothered to even start growing a beard
You
yet.
had the likes, you haven't done it.
I've tried my hardest. I've really tried.
Why do you have a shave then?
I haven't. This is it. This is what I've left. This is 6 days growth.
There is actually a little bit.
Yeah.
Can we zoom in?
A little bit of grey there.
So, zoom in a bit further,
I
probably.
call that my little star just there.
You what?
My little grey star. Bit of a silver fox going on. But you know, I've got a long way to go. But it's early days. You know,
Yeah, it definitely is early days. But hopefully by the Tour de France we'll be able to see something.
Did my best.
On to our comment of the week now, and they both come under the top 10 ways to prevent illness video. The first one comes in from Peter Stewart, who says, Dan, like a boss, Lloyd walks into the cafe, takes his helmet off, thermal hat off, and his hair is sitting mint. Hashtag hair goals. Good comment now, I thought.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure it was the best comment of the week, but
No, it was
interesting,
maybe better than that, so.
interesting you picked it out. I quite like this one from Matthew Hillard, who said, Matt, once and for all confirming how far up the leg to shave. It was good of you to do that, Matt. Very noble to show us.
Yeah, it wasn't obviously planned, but yeah, the evidence was there for all to see, I guess.
Hamster
wasn't it?
pants, I think
Yeah,
they're called.
hamster pants, yeah.
2 tweets of the week for you this time around. The first one came from the Herald Sun Tour, and in particular Simon Clark, who posted this picture and said, the hotel here in Bendigo was even kind enough to custom size our beds for Papa Clark and baby Ewan.
That is a good one, actually. But the second tweet comes from Chris Froome. Now, he said, there's a reason why my wife doesn't let me in the kitchen.
And if you're wondering why the end product on the floor is green, it's because apparently he put in some CNP products greens into the smoothie.
Oh, that's interesting.
I thought it was spinach or something like that, did you? Or kiwi, perhaps.
That tastes absolutely
On the channel this week, on Wednesday, it's how to train to increase your speed on flat roads.
The pedalling style is very different to what you'd experience on a climb, and the inertia different too. So you need to adopt a different pedalling style. Dan, what does stochastic mean?
Oh, it's just like up and down variable spiking.
Okay, cheers for that.
On Thursday, it's how to suffer like a pro.
Have you ever noticed that when you're the one dishing out suffering to a group, that you never really notice how hard you're trying? But on the flip side, if you're the one that's having pain dished out to you, the same intensity will seem so much worse. Well, we think there's a distinction between good pain and bad pain.
On Friday, we've got How to Wheelie with Peter Sagan.
I mean, we've already... What do you mean? We already got a video on how to wheelie. I did one a couple of years ago.
We did another one.
It went down
Yeah,
really
this
well.
one might be a better one.
One hand.
You make it look so easy.
For me, it's better one hand because
Okay.
I have more stability, I think.
It's incredible. Look at that, folks.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Such a gentleman as well.
Anyway, on Saturday, we've also got Mark Cavendish's bike from Dubai.
On Sunday, we look through our vaults again and choose some of our favourite videos for Off the Back. And on Monday, we're going to show you how to service your headset. And then on Tuesday... Why does no one ever write down what's
They've
on
not put
Tuesday?
anything in again, I don't know. We'll have to have a word.
Stay tuned and find out what is next Tuesday's video.
Yeah, you know as much as
I've
we
no
do.
idea.
A how to wheelie video?
He's really good, Sagan. He can do great wheelies.
Yeah, but I had to dumb it down to try and teach people, didn't I?
The current Guinness World Record is 10.56 miles in an hour. I'm not going to be trying to beat that today, but I am going to give you some tips so that you can try.
Yeah, nice one.
So, you know, back end of last week, I got a text from Dom.
Yeah.
Domestique, the guy I used to ride with. He's on Twitter, and he's just started up a profile, Dom_Estique GCN, which is
a bit presumptuous,
a little
isn't it?
bit presumptuous. Yeah, you are exactly right. But yeah, he's on it. He's just sort of back in
It's
the
funny you
game,
say
really.
that. He got stuck in on the comments as well last week after the news show video. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he's all over it.
Who is
So,
it? I wasn't here last
A
week.
guy called Dominique Estique was an old teammate of Matt's from ACBB days, and he rode the tour once, and that was it.
97, second from last he was, but you know, a solid rider, nice guy, but a bit super keen. Matt, this is a comment that was on under one of the videos last week. Matt, notice Stephen Roach's beautiful retro bike is still in your living room. Have you now returned it to his owner?
Have you?
And no.
Oh.
But Dom chimes in. Matt will give it back to Stephen very soon. One time I was training near Paris with Matt and Stephen in 1991. We make 230 kilometres and many of the team cannot make the pace of Stephen, so climb into the team car, except not Matt and myself. DE. But to be honest, I do remember that day like it was yesterday, to be honest with you.
Really? Because that's a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a long, long time. We went to meet Stephen at his house, met in his underground garage, all his Porsches and stuff. Then we did 230 Ks. But he sat on the front for the entire ride, and we took turns riding side by side till there was only 5 of us left, including me, Dom and Stephen. What an epic that was.
That's quite cool, actually.
But Dom, yes, could have him, I might give him a follow on Twitter, actually.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Yeah, definitely. Should we go off then?
Yeah, cool.
Stuck.
You are hooked. That suits you actually, Si.
Thanks.
Do that all again now.
You are?
Yeah.
Hang on a sec, chaps. M boards. We've got the M boards.
Again?
We've got the M boards.
Did it last week?
Yeah.
Right. There we go.
Right, now we know that socks are quite controversial here on the GCN show. So Tom Last, out in Dubai, went and asked various different pros what they thought about sock length and colour. Now you can watch that video by clicking just up there.
Meanwhile, if you click just down there, you'll see a very interesting, I think you might say, video where Si and I discuss the merits of traditional base training. So head down there if you haven't seen it already.
Yeah, that one's certainly storing up a bit of a hornet's nest at the moment. And to subscribe to GCN, remember it's absolutely free. Click on Mark Cavendish's autograph.
3, 2, 1.
You could win this and this.
No,
or this. Both of these things you could win. Or 2 of you could win.
Either of these things.
I mean it generally. No, that one person.
Right.
Do it again, one more time.
Right.
Okay, you can win this and this.
One
Okay.
more time.